All right, welcome to Kitchen 11 Season 2. We are back for more cooking here with Enes. I am Chef Kevin Lee here at VAST, our center for the Oklahoma City Thunder, Enes Kanter. We're at VAST here in the Devon Tark, 49th floor in Oklahoma City. Got a beautiful view here, great food, great service, great atmosphere. So if you haven't been here, you should really come check it out.
So now we're going to his house to make food. But it's definitely awesome, man. You know, just we're making food, we're raising money for every meal we make. We donated 5,000 meals to the food bank in Oklahoma. So it's really important.
For those of you who follow Enes on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, I'm sure you guys seen Twitter.
Is the best.
I'm sure you guys have all seen the videos, him playing with kids, playing basketball with kids in Africa. I think you're in South America also.
Yeah, it was
and it seemed like an amazing experience for those kids.
Yeah.
You know. We're gonna make butternut squash soup. So we got butternut squash soup, pretty simple. We're gonna saute some onions, garlic, and we're gonna add roasted butternut squash into it with veg stock, and we're going to bring that up to a boil. Also, we're going to make apricot chutney.
That'll be the first time I'm going to try it.
It's going to be great.
I've never tried it before.
Yes, so it's going to be great. Literally, all you have to do is cut the butternut squash in half, throw it in the oven, forget about it. Then onions, garlic, saute that, and chicken stock, veg stock, or just even water is fine because you got a lot of flavor in the chutney too.
It'll be probably hard to be a chef because if I go to my friend's house, I'll be like, man, you didn't do this right. You didn't do this one right. It will be definitely a hard thing to do.
What we're going to do is boil the white balsamic vinegar first. Okay. Boiling it, this kind of takes away that real strong vinegar taste first. So we're going to add this into this little small pot. We're going to let it come up to a boil first, okay? We're going to add that in there. As that's going, I'm going to chop some red onions to go with it. And we're also going to add dried apricots and dried cherries. Earlier, when I was prepping, I cut my finger.
Oh.
You know.
So for us, it's like missing an open layup. So it's a game is on the line. We're going to fast break, and Russell pass you the ball, and missing an open layup. It's like cutting a finger on the kitchen.
I saw Mario Batali cut his finger on his cooking show the other day, so it's all right. That's the biggest thing I'm worried about every time we cook. Is he going to cut his finger? Is he going to burn himself? You know, I don't want to be that guy who cut Enes's finger, you know, before a game day. So after you cut the butternut squash soup, you want to core out the seeds in the middle. Yeah. You don't know they won't see that. So we're going to core that out. And what we're going to do is we're going to roast these off. Okay. When you roast them, you want to roast them cut side down on the pan. So what happens is as it heats up, it's going to steam. And it's not going to burn the outside because you want your soup to be nice, bright yellow color, not brown, right? So when you roast it with the cut side down, it's going to steam up and it's still going to keep that vibrant color. So we got this butternut squash soup, nice and soft, nice and roasted. Yeah. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to scoop out the inside. We're going to saute some onions and garlic, and we'll get that going.
He gave me the dirtiest work. He gave me like the peeling squash. It was pretty hard. I burned myself a little bit.
He's got big hands, so I can understand, you know, those big old hands and trying to peel that little butternut squash, and it's a challenge. But just glad he didn't cut his hand. So we got the butternut squash soup all ready now. We're gonna blend it here in our Vitamix over here. So one trick to blending soups or any puree, one thing you don't want is chunky soup, right? You want nice, silky, smooth. So the hotter it is, the smoother it gets when you blend it. Hotter it is, the smoother it gets. I like to get him to try some new stuff because last year, I don't know if you guys seen it, but we did sushi in one of the episodes, and that was probably his favorite out of all the food that we cooked. We did a Thanksgiving dinner. I think we did sushi. We cooked some lamb. Because every time I cook something that's familiar to him, oh, it's pretty good, you know, because it's very familiar. But every time I cook something that's very different from what he's used to eating, and he gets real excited. And you know, sometimes you see a lot of like puree soups. Yeah. It's like nice, chunky. It looks like baby food. Nobody wants that. Okay, so we're gonna add this. So we got all that squash, garlic, veg stock in here. Put in this blender. Yeah, nice and silky smooth. You smell that?
It smells actually really
Smells
good.
good, right?
It's nice, man. It's actually really good. I'm not just doing it because I made it. It's actually really good.
He has to love. I cooked it. All right. That's it. So it's our butternut squash soup with our apricot chutney. And for this perfect warm weather, you guys can all make it at home very easily, like I showed you today. Anything you want to say, Enes?
Well, I just want to say, just keep watching us, and thank you guys a lot. Today, we did a
Butternut squash
soup.
Apricot chutney.
Apricot chutney. It's hard for me to say. It's my second language.
All right.
But it's pretty awesome. Make sure to check it out.
All right. Thanks for joining us today, and see you next time in our show, Kitchen 11. Thank you.
Thank you.